All right, guys, this last vlog, we went to the Rainbow River, man. It's one of the most beautiful places I've ever been. It's crystal clear. It's clearer than clear water. It looks like you can just drink it, and it's loaded with big fish, a lot of life there. In that clear water, first thing that comes to mind to me is swim baits. We started off with the Kol Shad and had a lot of follows, a lot of really big follows. And that's what's so great about the Kol Shad is that you're able to draw these big fish out in clear water where you would throw a spinner bait or a bladed jig, something like that in that clear water that wouldn't work so well. The Kol Shad really gives that lifelike action when you're reeling it through the water, really drawing those fish up. And if they don't eat it, you can try to get them on something else. When they do eat it, it's like down their throat. But let me show you some of the cool things on this, on the Kol Shad that I really like. Right out of the package, when you look at it, the HD color. This one is perch. I really like this one. It's got the bars that yellow perch would have, but also has that bluegill look that I think that's what we were imitating in the Rainbow River. It has these small little areas in the nose and underneath the hook here where you can actually insert your weight. I'll use tungsten nail weights, and depending on where I'm fishing, most of the time I like it near the surface, fishing it shallow. But if you guys that want to get out deep, throw them on deeper ledges and get them down deeper, you can load it up with nail weights and get it down there to the bottom. Another really neat thing with this harness, the hook will clip in just like that. So when you're skipping under docks, under trees, that's going to hold your hook in. So you're not going to foul hook it when you're reeling it back. And finally, the honeycomb tail design, it draws and pushes water differently. Your normal swim bait's slender and stuff, and you have the water, coming around and stuff. With that tail design like that, honeycomb shape, it's dispersing the water differently as it swims. It's almost like a different kind of water movement that the fish are able to pick up on. And something really neat about the honeycomb tail is that they're able to use a lot more durable plastic, but still allowing that tail to really swim well. So when I'm throwing the Kol Shad, normally I like a 7/6 medium heavy rod for making long casts and stuff, but this week I really want a shorter rod because we're making a lot more shorter casts under docks, under trees. We're in a little canal that's only 50 to 100 feet wide. And so the rod that I really like to use is one of the Pro Series Shane Hugh dock skipping rod. It's a 7/1 medium heavy, but it just allows you to, and it works perfect for the Kol Shad, allows you to skip up under docks and under trees. And also a huge key that I've learned just recently in the last couple of years throwing the Kol Shad is definitely a slower reel ratio. The slower you get a reel ratio, the more naturally that swim bait will swim, which will also, draw the fish up to it a lot better. So I'm gonna throw it on a 6/8-to-1 Xenon MGX. It's a super smooth reel, and it just seems like it's just that perfect amount of line when you're reeling that thing coming through the water that really gets it bit. And the other bait we were throwing is the Berkeley Swamp Lord popping version. Man, I've been so excited about this bait. I've been throwing it probably even when I shouldn't be throwing it. But what's really cool about this frog is it's got a super high premium hook in it. You don't have to open it up. It's bent perfectly for perfect hookups. And another thing is it is super soft. It's not too soft though where it gets hung up a lot, but it's soft enough when you get that giant fish to eat it, you're able to get a good hook in them. And another really key thing with this frog is the thinner legs. The thinner legs allow that frog to walk easier. We had some really nice hits on this thing, really enjoyed throwing the popping frog. But let me tell you about what kind of rod I like to throw when I'm frogging. A lot of guys like to throw a shorter rod. I know I've seen a lot of guys like to throw a 7/1, 7/3, heavy action. I prefer a 7/6 rod. And the reason that is, you're sometimes making really long casts, but a lot of time when you are working that frog and one eats it, it's coming at you full speed. So no matter how fast you're reeling, it's sometimes hard to keep up with it. The rod I use is a Fantasista X. It's a heavy 7/6, and man, I like to use a fast reel ratio to also help pick up the line. So I'm using a Xenon X. And it seems like it's one of the more heavy duty Xenon reels. It's got a really nice clicker drag in it, what allows you when you're fighting that fish, you actually hear the drag coming out because it's got like a clicking drag, which makes it really nice and helps you land a lot more fish. And lastly, the line, man, a lot of people, I've heard people throw 80-pound braid. I've heard people throw 65. You can go up heavier if you want, but I'll usually go 50 if I'm in like some pretty thick stuff. And then if I get to more open water frogging, I'll go to 40. And a little secret that I do is I love to have the braid black. So I take a Sharpie and color the spool with the Sharpie to just have that, nice fresh black color. I'm not sure why. I think it goes back to when I used to flip all the time. And the braid we were using was Berkeley X5. And the reason I like that braid is because it's 5-strand. It's tighter woven together. It seems to cut through the weeds better. It's a little more coarse, but allows you to really drill the hooks into the fish when you get bit. All right, if you guys missed the vlog, make sure you go check that out. This Rainbow River was super cool. It was a really neat place. And if you're looking for any of this tackle, make sure you go to tacklewarehouse.com.